a regular, like he remind you of your high school principal. He remind you of your high school football coach, and he was a football coach that led his team to a national, not national, but to a state championship. And he is just awesome. He's for the people. He stand up for women's rights, and he's a popular governor in the great. Won in 2016. That state was picked off by Joe Biden, and I think we'll definitely get his state and the state of Pennsylvania as well. Either one of those governors would have been a great choice for Kamala Harris. I'm just sick of the black people on the internet talking about I'm not with her. Okay, so if you're not with her, that means you with Trump. And y'all need to block every last one of their asses on Facebook and on Instagram and social media and stop. Like, that's just garbage.
Yeah.
It's just garbage.
Can
Everybody
we be
got
united
to find,
on anything?
Can't agree on a damn bucket of chicken. One person want a hot dog.
I always complain.
Black folks get on my damn nerves, man. Why everybody making all these celebrities making all these videos going off on Kamala Harris and stuff, and then the black men, Kamala Harris didn't prosecute you and treated you bad in court. I got treated bad in court too, but I'm with her because a vote for her. If you sit at home and you don't support her, you are definitely supporting Donald Trump. You can vote for who you want to, but don't be trying to encourage other people and sit up there and put bad stuff. Where's that same energy for Donald Trump?
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just like, don't vote for him. It is what it is.
They're not even doing.
What about a policy for black people?
Look at her record. If you do the research or whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what a record is. You can see what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community.
Nothing.
That black people benefit from a lot. We need to stand with her.
Yes.
We need to stand with her. She's great.
Absolutely.
She will make a great president. And what a blessing to be living in a time where a black woman can become president of the United States of America. In our time, we get a black man and a black woman become president. That's unheard of.
Come on, man.
Stop it.
Message. Be on
Stop
the right
it, black
side
people.
of history. Be
Yeah.
on
Stop
the
it.
right side of history.
It's just the Amber Rose and everybody got all these videos and stuff and talking about Kamala Harris talking out of both sides of her. How would you say something so disrespectful? Even if you felt that way, I wouldn't dare make a video or say nothing like that to the vice president of the United States of America that's trying to stand up and that's going to possibly pick 2 United States Supreme Court justices or whatever to try to keep the laws in place that Thurgood Marshall and all of the people that have paved the way and try to redo and get back into some of this settled law, women's rights to choose, your voting rights, and Brown versus the Board of Education. Do your homework, black
hold
people.
up. Let me just tell you something right here that could be very historic. And Kay pointed this out to me. If Kamala Harris is elected, she would be sworn in.
She could be sworn
on
in
MLK Day
by the first black Supreme
and
Court
possibly
woman
by
justice.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does that
I had to turn that off. I was getting nauseated. Right? I was getting nauseated. This is nauseating to watch. First of all, this is a perfect picture. Both of them are married to white men. Right? Both of these bedwenches are married to white men. And Harris is married to a man from AIPAC, a Jewish man from AIPAC, right? Which is running an apartheid state in Israel that is genociding almost 200,000 people, tens of thousands of children, right? And runs an apartheid state against black people. But hey, why should we talk about that? Just talk about the optics of these 2 black bedwenches, right? Who have done zero and have never defended African American descendants of slaves. Never in their life defended black people. Matter of fact, Kamala Harris has made statements against doing anything for descendants of slaves in America. This Indian woman from Canada, you see, we're not from the same ethnic group. My ethnic group is American descendants of slavery. Black, we're not all black the same. There's no such thing as a flat blackness. A descendant of slaves that have been in, the black descendants of slaves in the United States is not the same as a mulatto, Indian, Jamaican, Canadian, who family descends from slave owners in Jamaica and Indians from a racist Indian class in India. That wouldn't be, I mean, we're not all black the same. Everybody's not the same because they have a slight bit of melanin in their skin and have a distant ancestor from an African continent. That doesn't make us all the same. I mean, that's just number one. And number two, that doesn't mean our agendas are the same. So one, we're not from the same ethnic group, and two, our agendas are not the same. Our loyalties are not the same. You see, somebody who is married, a man, a white man, who works for American Israeli Political Action Committee, and who is supporting an apartheid state, obviously, do I have to say this man doesn't support black people? And if you're married to him, that means you don't either. Because you're not, Ricky Smiley wanted to talk about how awesome she is. So you telling me she don't know that? She's so awesome that she's stupid, and she don't know that, who the guy is that she married? That's what you telling me, Ricky Smiley? That a woman who marries a man who champions an apartheid state and is corrupting the politics of America, because everybody knows AIPAC runs the American political system. They're part of the cabal, the racist Nazi cabal that runs the American political system. You telling me she doesn't know that? And if Ricky Smiley doesn't know that, he should shut the fuck up. I ain't even get to my main point yet. I ain't even get to my main point. All right, I ain't get to my main point yet. Now, number one, let's get to the main point, then, because I'm gonna get to something else. The main point is, what type of man wants to be led by a woman? What type of man, right? Because I noticed, like, my grandfather in my house, he didn't want my grandmother leading. My grandmother didn't lead anything. When it was time to drive, my grandfather got in a car and drove everywhere. My grandmother ride shotgun, and the kids got to get in the back. She couldn't make no, my grandfather made all the decisions. Only decision my grandmother made was like, he told her, look, pay the bills while I gotta go. Can you make these bills out? And make sure the food get cooked and the house get cleaned up and the kids get looked after while I'm gone. That was it. He was giving the orders. My grandfather set the tempo for everything that went on in the house. My grandmother didn't make no decisions that my grandfather didn't check off. So the household was led by a man. My grandfather never said, well, what you want us to do? And then my grandmother made the decision. That's not how that worked. He made the decision and he let her execute if he had to leave. Do this like A, B, and C. I'll be back. So what kind of man wants to be led by a woman? No real man. You call it sexist. You can call it whatever you want. If you look at the Bible, right? In the Bible it says the man is the head. But you got a lot of a la carte Negroes, a la carte Christians that, like Ricky Smiley is an a la carte Christian Negro. Ricky Smiley ain't nothing but the synagogue of Satan. He ain't nothing but the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. Revelation 2 and 9, he's of the synagogue of Satan. He don't obey the Bible. He's not loyal to black people. Ricky Smiley is loyal to himself and racist white people who appoint bedwenches like Kamala Harris and this other woman, Ketanji Brown. These two smiling, wicked, evil, nasty bedwenches. You see? That's who he's loyal to. He's not loyal to he has no code. The Bible said, a man shouldn't wear a dress. Ricky Smiley claimed to be a Christian, he wear a dress. The Bible said a man should be the leader. Ricky Smiley tell you a woman should be your leadership. Well, Ricky Smiley, he don't keep no law. He don't do nothing in proper order. This is why they put Ricky Smiley on the radio to broadcast fucked up messages to you and your children, right? Stand by. So this is a man in a dress, right? Telling you what to do. He want to tell other men what to do. He's telling you that a woman need to be your leadership. The reason he's saying that is because he like to wear dresses. And he probably like a little bit of that backdoor action. He like a little backdoor play. He probably like to play with men rods and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so he telling you that a woman should be your leadership. This is what this man is telling you. He's fighting, he want to fight you, and he said you need to be cut off if you don't believe that a female immigrant bedwench who's sworn allegiance to an apartheid state, racist, anti-black apartheid state, he's telling you that this woman from Canada, this Indian woman mulatto woman from Canada, if you should be cut off from people if you don't agree to make her your leader. Where in the Bible does it say that, Ricky Smiley? I'm just saying, where did you get that from? Because the Bible said a man shouldn't wear dresses, Ricky Smiley. It also said a man shouldn't take a woman as a leader of a household or just a leader in general. Right? So, why should we listen to Ricky Smiley? Why? This is why black people being destroyed in America. They're going to be destroyed in America. Because Ricky Smiley is your leadership. Ketanji Brown and Kamala Harris is your leadership. And you being led astray. There's a reason they killed Malcolm X. It's a reason they killed Malcolm X. They killed Martin Luther King. And they gave you Gay Pride Obama, Ricky Smiley, and Kamala Harris. You think that's a coincidence? That they killed your strong black male leadership and they gave you Ricky Smiley in a dress or Gay Pride Obama? You think, a mulatto immigrant from Africa, Gay Pride Obama, and Ricky Smiley in a dress telling you that he demands that women be your leaders? A woman that's not from your ethnic group. A woman married to a man, a white man that runs an apartheid state against blacks and Arabs in North Africa, the Middle East. Ricky Smiley has a childlike analysis. Ricky Smiley ain't nothing but the devil. He ain't nothing but a worker of iniquity, a worker of Satan, obviously. He works for Satan. He's an agent of Satan, you see. He violates everything that the Bible stands for. If you say, well, Ricky Smiley said he a Christian. Okay, well, you just violate. You're a hypocrite. Do you know the most heinous crime in the Bible and sin is hypocrisy? Why? Because if you're a hypocrite, you can't keep no other laws. If you're a hypocrite, you break all 10 commandments plus the other 603. You don't believe in the prophecy. No hypocrite could. So by you being a hypocrite, you defile and blaspheme the Bible. You are a la carte Negro. You a messy-minded, a la carte, messy-mind, hypocrite Negro. Ricky Smiley, why would any man listen to Ricky Smiley? You shouldn't cut off yourself if you don't want to deal with Kamala. You should cut off Ricky Smiley. You shouldn't cut cut off your family or whatever, friend, because you don't want to deal with Kamala Harris and Obama and people that threw you overboard 50 years ago. You should cut Ricky Smiley off. You should cut Kamala Harris off. You should cut off anybody who, like that. You can make up your mind for yourself. Ricky Smiley is a liar and a man in a dress. And he's a band. That's all he is. He's just some, B-A-N. That's all he is. I'm trying to be, keep it, PG. But he a P-O-S and a B-A-N, right? I mean, yeah, I ain't gonna make this too long. I don't want to belabor the point. I think you get the point. But no man should take a woman as his leadership, right? That's why you need fathers in the homes, right? Because they teach their sons to go out and be leaders and lead their household, not to go out and find a woman to lead him. That's not why you send your son, how you groom your son to go out into the world, to take orders from women. What kind of man would do that? Right? If there's a war, you want your country led by a woman? If I go to war, and I'm just saying if somebody break in your house at night and you married, you got kids, do you tell your wife, here, take the gun or the knife or the bat and go lead the charge and defend the home from the motherfucker that's climbing in the window or kicking in the front door? Do you send your wife down there to lead the charge? Now, I can see if you ain't home and something happened, right? Or whatever. But if you're a man in the house and some shit break out with some fighting, you got to defend the home, some fighting break out around the property, nigga, somebody breaking in your, scumbag breaking in your property. Do you send your wife to deal with it, or do you send a man to deal with it? Or you say you send your son to deal with it? You send a man to deal with it, obviously. So why would you send a woman to lead your country or to lead you anywhere? You wouldn't. Only a weak man wants to be led by a woman. Only men in dresses want to be led by women. Only a weak man would send his wife to defend his house if somebody is breaking in the front door or breaking through his windows. Only a man in a dress would send a woman to defend the home. Right? A woman in self-defense is the final, is the final line. Like, okay, maybe your husband got shot. It's 20 marauders. If he got shot, okay, the only thing standing between you and the kids is you. Okay, you gotta pick up the gun and get busy. Or whatever, the bow and arrow or the sword or whatever, and get busy. You understand? But you don't send a woman to do a man's job. And a man's job is everything. A man he need to dictate how the children are raised, what the woman wears. He need to dictate everything. What kind of food you cooking in the house tonight? I said chicken. She say some pork chop. We don't eat no pork in here. What are you talking about? I said, cook some, I don't care what it is, it better have chicken in it. It's the man's job to dictate and keep the shit in order. Ricky Smiley is a man in a dress, right? Want to be led by racist, he wants to be led by a racist, apartheid state white man and his bedwench, and his Indian, Canadian bedwench. These are the type of analysis, these are the type of people, this is what they pick for the leadership of the descendants of slaves, of black people who struggled 400 years against oppression in America. But now they killed Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and they gave you Ricky Smiley and Obama, gay marriage Obama and Kamala Harris, married to the leaders of people that want to lead you into an apartheid state. And if you say you don't agree, they tell you, well, there's something wrong with you. It's something wrong with a man that don't want to be led by a woman. It's something wrong with a man that don't want to put a dress on. It's something wrong with a man who want to lead his household, who don't want his children being turned into transformers like Dwayne Wade. In America, they teach you there's something wrong with that kind of a man. Why is that? Why is that a bad man who need to be changed? Oh, that's all I got.